The year was 1982. The music industry was bleeding. Sales were down, and the golden age of disco had crashed and burned. Enter Michael Jackson. He was 23 years old and already a star, but he wasn't satisfied. His previous album, Off the Wall, was a critical success. Yet Michael felt snubbed by the industry, believing it didn't win the awards it deserved. He didn't just want to make another hit record. He wanted to create an album where every single song was a killer. He told his producer, the legendary Quincy Jones, that he wanted to create the biggest selling album of all time. Nobody believed it was possible, but in Westlake Recording Studios in Los Angeles, history was about to be written. Production began in April 1982. The pressure was immense. Michael and Quincy sifted through hundreds of songs, narrowing them down to just 9. It wasn't smooth sailing. The song Billie Jean, arguably the most famous track in pop history, was almost cut. Quincy Jones hated the long intro and didn't like the title, fearing people would think it was about tennis player Billie Jean King. Michael fought for it, famously saying that the long intro was what made him want to dance. Then there was the technical struggle. The team worked so hard that the speakers in the studio literally caught fire during a mixing session. They were crafting a sonic landscape that had never been heard before. Michael had a vision that went beyond R&B. He wanted to conquer rock radio, a domain that was largely segregated at the time. He wrote Beat It to bridge that gap. To seal the deal, Quincy Jones made a phone call to Eddie Van Halen, the biggest rock guitarist of the era. Eddie recorded his legendary solo in 20 minutes, free of charge as a favor. He famously rearranged the song behind Michael's back, and when Michael heard it, he loved it. This wasn't just a song. It was a battering ram that would break down the racial barriers of radio stations and MTV. On November 30th, 1982, Thriller finally hit the shelves. The lead single was The Girl Is Mine, a duet with Paul McCartney. Surprisingly, the initial reaction from critics was lukewarm. They thought Michael was playing it safe, trying too hard to appeal to a white audience. Sales were good, but they weren't record-breaking yet. The world didn't know that the heavy hitters, Billie Jean and Beat It, were waiting in the wings. The album cover, featuring Michael in a white suit holding a tiger cub, was everywhere. It was the calm before the storm. Everything changed in early 1983. The video for Billie Jean hit MTV, becoming the first video by a black artist to receive heavy rotation on the channel. But the real explosion happened on May 16, 1983, during the Motown 25 television special. Michael stepped onto the stage alone. He wore a black sequin jacket and a single white glove. During the bridge of Billie Jean, he executed a move he had been practicing in his kitchen, the moonwalk. For 2 seconds, he seemed to glide backward while walking forward. The audience screamed. The next day, Fred Astaire called him to congratulate him. Sales of Thriller spiked to 1 million copies a week. It was no longer just an album. It was a phenomenon. By late 1983, sales began to stabilize. Michael wasn't done. He wanted to release the title track, Thriller, but the record label balked. They said the album was over. Michael ignored them. He hired director John Landis to create not a music video, but a 14-minute short film. It cost $500,000, unheard of at the time. With zombie makeup, intricate choreography, and that iconic red leather jacket, the Thriller video premiered in December 1983. It was an event. MTV played it every hour on the hour. It cemented the album's place in history and turned music videos into a legitimate art form. At the 1984 Grammy Awards, Michael Jackson won a record-breaking 8 awards. He took off his sunglasses only once, at the request of Katharine Hepburn. Thriller spent 37 weeks at #1 on the Billboard 200. It is estimated to have sold over 70 million copies worldwide, though some claim the number is over 100 million. It remains the best-selling album of all time. But beyond the numbers, its legacy is the integration of pop culture. It proved that a black artist could be the biggest star in the world, on every screen, in every home. It set a standard for production, video, and performance that artists are still chasing today. The launch of Thriller on November 30th, 1982, wasn't just a release date, it was the ignition point for modern pop culture. Thank you for watching this journey through music history. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep dives into legendary events, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with a friend who loves music. See you in the next one.